This is Robert Kraft, and we're coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the Bio CEO and Investor Conference 2018 in New York City. With me right now is Nadav Kidron from Oramed. It's a publicly traded company with the symbol ORMP. Nadav, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on. So, for our audience, let's start off with an overview of the company and then go from there.
Sure. What Oramed does is we have a technology, a platform technology that allows us to take injections and deliver them orally. Our leading product is insulin, oral insulin, and we have a whole pipeline of other products as well.
Now let's start with the history of the company as well. When did it start and how did it develop to where it's currently at today?
So the technology was developed at Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem by my mother and a group of scientists. About 13 years ago, she came to me and she said, listen, son, we have a technology that can allow and better the lives of hundreds of millions of people out there. That's when I took the technology out of Hadassah Medical Center in the beginning of 2016 and established Oramed.
So let's talk about the company's target indications. What are they?
So the flagship product is oral insulin for diabetics, where the idea is that type 2 diabetics can start taking oral insulin at a much earlier point in their treatment. We're also working on oral GLP-1 analog. We're also working on NASH, and we're also working on leptin. And we also have some collaborations with big pharma who want to use our platform technology to deliver their injections orally.
So how is what you're developing different than what's currently available?
So what we're looking at are injections that currently can only be delivered as an injection. And what we do is we take them and we deliver them orally. Now, what's the advantage with this oral delivery? It's not only from the patient's compliance. The idea that when we deliver something orally, the first pass is to deliver. And in such cases, such as the insulin, a first pass to the liver, which is the organ that regulates the secretion of the insulin into the bloodstream, it's a much more physiological way to deliver the insulin. So it's a real breakthrough in this new method of delivery that gives you both the advantage of the patient's compliance and the physiological way of delivery.
As you mentioned, this is a platform technology with a couple different applications. So how does the technology work then?
Okay, so there's two obstacles to deliver peptides, which are small proteins, orally. Number one, as soon as we put something in our mouth, it gets degraded. And even if it goes through, the size of the peptide does not allow it to go through the gut wall into the bloodstream. So up until a few years ago, people will tell it's impossible to deliver insulin as a peptide orally. What Oramed has is a technology that we developed, a protease inhibitor, which help protect from those enzymes that cause the degradation on the one hand. So we put this in a soft gel capsule. We put in it an enhancer, and then we entericoat it, which is a coating that's pH sensitive. So the end result is that once the patient or anybody who swallows the pill, it goes intact in the body. And once it goes from the stomach to the intestine, because of the change in the pH, the coating dissolves, and then it's being protected. And with the enhancer, it goes into the portal vein that takes it into the liver, which is the key thing, the portal delivery that we have.
And where's the company currently at in the clinic for this indication?
So with our oral insulin, we just finished a phase 2B, and we're moving now into a 90 days trial, which will be followed by the pivotal phase 3. So that's a most advanced clinical program. With the GLP-1 analog, we're going to start later this year a phase 2B. And with NASH, we're going to initiate over the next few weeks first exploratory trial on humans, and the same true also for the leptin, which over the next few months will run some human trials after successful preclinical trials.
And what's the size of the target of this target indication?
So when you look at the oral insulin, unfortunately, when we live at the age of obesity, you're talking about last year, $800 billion were spent on diabetes. We think we can get a nice part out of that pie. Unfortunately, looking forward, it looks like the obesity and diabetes are going to prevail and just grow. So in a way, it's good for us, but it's unfortunate for us as human beings and for the world is we're looking at a huge market out there.
And what's your background? What were you doing before your mother called?
So before my mother called, I was sitting home waiting for someone to call me up and say, my background is I'm a lawyer, I have an MBA, and I've been more in the business world. And when I realized that this is an opportunity that can do two things. One, help us human beings better the world, help people be healthier. And on the other side, to also help our investors to enjoy the financial fruits of this, I decided I'm going to dedicate my career into making this a reality.
And what are some of the value catalysts moving forward for Oramed?
So 2018 happens to be probably the most exciting year in our history. We're going to initiate now the 90 days trial, which is the most important trial on oral insulin, probably in the history of oral insulin. We're going to initiate the NASH trial. We're going to start and finish the trial on leptin. So this year is going to be filled with stuff. We've done one of the largest licensing deals between a Western company to a Chinese company when we sold our oral insulin technology for the specific territory of China. So we're going to see more progress with that this year. So basically, you should stay tuned because this year is going to be a very interesting year.
And where could our audience go and find more information about Oramed?
Well, the best place is our website at oramed.com. And obviously, you can just sign up your email address if you want to get the updates, and unless you want to stay tuned for more of those videos.
And that's ORAMED.com. My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive. And we're at the Bio CEO and Investor Conference 2018 in New York City. With me again is Nadav Kidron from Oramed, publicly traded company with the symbol ORMP. Nadav, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.